It's time to talk about Trader Joe's. It's no secret at all that Trader Joe's is ridiculously good at making us as consumers fall in love with them. And I think it's worth asking what they do. There's 5 things that I've noticed as a consumer that I think are brilliant. And they're strategies that if any business implements, they'll be able to garner some of the love that consumers have consistently been showing to Trader Joe's. Let's get into it. Starting off at number 5 in the countdown is seasonality. That's something that Trader Joe's does very, very well. I don't know if you've had the privilege of having their Trader Joe's JoJo's, the peppermint JoJo's, during the holidays, but my goodness, they hit different. They also have little, really good molasses cookies. I think they have those all year round now, but they have gingerbread men that you can put on the edge of your cup. They have a lot of innovative stuff, peppermint hot chocolate. During fall, they have a lot of pumpkin-flavored, spice-flavored stuff. They even have little tiny leaf-shaped tortilla chips that are fall colors. They go all out, and it hasn't gone unnoticed. I think a lot of very passionate Trader Joe's lovers have a very detailed inventory mentally of everything that they have and everything they look forward to in every month of the year, because Trader Joe's does such a good job switching up the mix, bringing stuff in, having things that you can't get anywhere else, and that ultimately feel like the season that you're in. They do this with way more than just products, too. They decorate the store, they rearrange layouts. The other month, they had a massive Super Bowl display. They also had the big Valentine's Day stuff, flowers for the guys to get their wives, because I know that guys are procrastinators. I went and got one, actually. But they have everything that you could want to make any season feel festive. And it makes the shopping experience way more fun. Kroger, Walmart, some of these other brands can't even hold a candle to the way that Trader Joe's is able to make you feel the magic of the season. So, seasonality, far and away one of the most impressive things that they're able to do, but it's number 5. Let's go on to the next one. Coming in next at number 4 is localization. If you've been to a Trader Joe's in your town, you probably have seen some kind of mural or picture or otherwise decoration that caters and pays homage to the town that it's located in, the store's located in. And this is very smart, because think about it, when you have people who identify with the town they're in, they're proud of the town, they're proud of the locale. I've even seen it at colleges. When they cater to the college, they have stuff for the college that shows school spirit. When customers see their locale that they identify with also getting honored by the store that they're shopping in, there's a lot of positive vibes going on. Consumers probably feel a little bit more love than they would in an ordinary store. And this is a very intentional facet of Trader Joe's business model, from what I can tell. I'm a consumer. I've seen it. This hasn't been based on anything but my experiences in stores, but my goodness, it's amazing how much time they put in to customizing every store to get a little bit of love to the town that it's in. And I think it really resonates with customers, makes everything feel a little bit more homey, and ultimately increases the positive energy that their consumers are experiencing while they're shopping. So that's number 4. Coming in smack dab in the middle of the list at number 3 is the actual freshness or illusion of freshness of the food. Now, it's no secret that Trader Joe's has a lot of healthy stuff. Their produce section is very admirable. And they also have a lot of great kind of vegan, organic, a lot of foods that cater to very specific food tastes. But there's also a lot of chocolate. And if you look at the desserts, there's actually a lot of things that aren't super healthy at Trader Joe's, but I think most people still think of it as a pretty healthy store overall and a pretty healthy assortment of food. And I think part of the thing that they're able to do is not only have fresh food. I mean, you can't replace that. That has to go first in terms of branding yourself with freshness, is having fresh food. But if you look at the colors that they use in the stores, that's something I noticed when I was walking through a couple of them, is that if you just kind of opened your eyes and registered what your eyes are seeing, you get bombarded with all kinds of bright colors. You got kind of greens and blues and reds and purples, a lot of different stuff. And I think it's no secret that humans are naturally inclined to appreciate that amount of color. And so it's a very interesting way that they're able to kind of exude freshness and vitality, as well as kind of a positive brand image and positive placement in the consumer's mind. But certainly, I think if you think about produce, like what color is a mango? What color is an apple? What color is an eggplant? Purple, right? There's a lot of different colors that are going on with all of the produce section, and they take that rainbow of colors and they put it towards the rest of the store, so that when you're walking down like the canned goods aisle, you'll still see tons of colors. And that's interesting. It makes it feel like the store is fresh. It makes it feel like the food itself is just bursting with vibrance. And I think that's a very interesting thing that they do. Next time you're in a Trader Joe's, check out how many colors you see in a given aisle. It'll blow your mind. So anyway, that's number 3. Moving on to number 2. Number 2 is how Trader Joe's is able to establish a very intimate feeling shopping experience. They do this in a couple of ways. The localization that we've already discussed is part of it. The colors certainly don't hurt it. But if you think about the contrast between a very cold, impersonal grocery store, kind of like a Walmart or a Smith's, they're very different than Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's has handwritten messages. They handwrite all the signs, as far as I can tell, all the pricing information. They do chalkboards. They make it feel like it's just in your backyard or somebody's kind of farmer's market. They make it feel like it's just in an intimate setting. You'll notice that a lot of the portions in Trader Joe's are not big. You have Costco, who sells things by the crate. You have Walmart, who sells bulk items sometimes, and Kroger does the same thing. But if you look at Trader Joe's, there's not a lot of bulk items going on. If you look at the freezer section, it's usually meals for 1 person, 2 people, maybe, if you don't eat a lot, 3 or 4, but that's not the case for me. And I think it's interesting to think about, they just make it so much more intimate. They cater to somebody who wants a very personal experience while shopping. They want something for themselves. They want something that's healthy, that they want to buy it from somebody who they can trust. They do a great deal to ensure that customers feel comfortable, they feel at home, they feel like somebody is just their neighbor, giving them good recommendations on what healthy food selections they should choose. And I think Trader Joe's has done an amazing job branding itself as an intimate shopping partner, which is why I think people have resonated with it so much more than Kroger and Walmart and things like that. People look forward, at least I do, I look forward to going to Trader Joe's. And I think it's kind of a result of some of the things I've mentioned. So I would say that's number 2, kind of an intimate shopping experience that just flies in the face of everything else being offered in the market. And finally, the most important thing that I think Trader Joe's does well and does right is having a selection that you just can't get anywhere else. I looked on their website, and they said that 80% of their product lines are actual in-house products, which is crazy to me. But it makes sense. If you've been to a Trader Joe's, you don't see a whole lot of other brands going on. They have a lot of very novel items. I think they do a good job with blending cultures. I've tried their Indian food. They had this butter chicken dish that was fire. They had a lot of very good Southwestern things. Cowboy caviar is something that they offer if you've tried that. They have a lot of curries. Their Asian section, the freezer section, is so good. And they also do things that kind of blend cultures, which also really helps with creating products that you can't find anywhere else, like Philly cheesesteak bao buns. Kind of as an extension of this point too, it's a subtle point, but Trader Joe's does not miss an opportunity to slap a country or culture's name on the label for their food. And it's smart to do it that way, because if you have a noodle that says, a noodle from Italy versus just pasta, of course you're going to go with the one that sounds a little bit more Italian, has a little bit more cachet. And they do this with all kinds of products. They actually have Brazilian cheese bread with Brazilian nice and big on the packaging. They have Peruvian-style chimichurri rice, Mandarin-style orange chicken bowl, Cuban-style citrus garlic bowl, Taiwanese green onion pancakes, Greek spanakopita, Portuguese custard tarts. You'll start noticing, when you really start paying attention, just how much effort they're putting into putting countries' names and cultures' names in the food items that you're seeing. And this is a fascinating way to make their products more novel. It's a lot more interesting to buy a product that has a country associated with it. You're like, wow, I'm getting to experience a part of the culture. Whereas if it was just an ordinary chimichurri rice instead of Peruvian-style chimichurri rice, maybe there's a little bit less cachet there. And so I think it's a very subtle but interesting point that seems very intentional on the part of Trader Joe's. So anyway, they do a really good job blending cultures, making cultures a little bit more approachable. It's just amazing how many things I love per square foot in that store. Like, I can walk an entire length of Costco and find maybe 3 things that sound appealing to me at the moment. When I go to Trader Joe's, the wow factor per square foot that I experience as a consumer is crazy, crazy high. Far higher than any other grocery store I've been to. And so I think that's one of the things that they do so right, is they have things that are exciting, that are new. They're always innovating. They have an entire crew dedicated to just testing new dishes, seeing which ones they like, figuring out the new stuff, and they're always innovating and always pushing the envelope and releasing things. I love everything that I've eaten at Trader Joe's, with the exception of like maybe 1 or 2 things. As a ratio, the amount of things that I like per items they carry is probably the highest of any store that I've been to. There's always something on just about every shelf that I think looks intriguing. So I think that that's one of the things that they do so right, is to have items you can't find anywhere else that are exciting, that are interesting to eat and try. And I think that's one of the things that ultimately makes them successful. So I would put that as the single most important thing that they've done. If you made it this far, thanks for sticking with me. I hope you found something interesting and intriguing, a strategy or tactic that you can take back to your own business or some of the other consumer experiences that you're seeing. If there's other brands that you want me to dissect, please put them in the comments. I'd love to kind of go through those. It's a really fun exercise for me, and hopefully it's valuable for you. Also, if you're new here, once again, feel free to subscribe. Would love to have you on board as we analyze these other companies. Until next time.